Los Angeles is the largest city within California and the second largest within the entire nation. Los Angeles has a population of about 3.82 million people, and this wide population comes with a wide diversity of different ethnicities and cultures. African Americans, Asians, and Latinos make up approximately 67% of the population, according to the most recent census taken in 2020. With this widespread diversity, there comes conflict with people being racist and exerting forms of discrimination on other people. People of color are bound to receive more acts of racism from a day-to-day basis compared to white people, which can be negative for people's mental and physical health. This is due to the different viewpoints and values that the residents of Los Angeles have grown up with and have instilled with them. Racism in Los Angeles has always been a thing, especially in the 1990s due to the police brutality of African American Rodney King. This led to an increase in violence as riots took over the county as a response to racism. The Los Angeles Police Department was also under fire for being corrupted, as residents within the county felt as if the police weren't there to help certain minority groups such as Latinos and African Americans, but only caused more trouble and harm for them. During the trial of O.J. Simpson, who was accused of murdering his ex-wife, the trial fully exposed how corrupt and racist the police department was. The targeted audience for my project will not only be residents of Los Angeles, but people residing in California. This will help people take initiatives to help better communities and minimize the racial discrimination, not only in Los Angeles, but all of California. The rhetorical genre for this project will both be informational and educational, as it will teach the audience on the initiatives different organizations have to offer to minimize racism. The following informative video will cover racism affecting Latinos, African Americans, and Asians, and the organizations such as Aware LA and BLM-LA that advocate for anti-racism within Los Angeles. The anti-racism organization Black Lives Matter Los Angeles, also known as BLM-LA, strives for equality and social justice for the mistreatment of Black people. Black Lives Matter Los Angeles is involved in telling the history of the Black struggle to other people and informing them of why the Black Lives Matter movement plays a pivotal role within their struggle. One of the current missions that BLM-LA has today is to end police associations, which is the law enforcement officers being, quote, emboldened by white supremacy to kill Black people with impunity, and police associations like the Los Angeles Police Protective League, end quote, having, quote, major role in shielding officers from any measure of accountability, end quote. BLM-LA has provided a way for people to seek change and equality within the Los Angeles community. Advocating for equal treatment among the Black community, they have the goal of responding to different crises and events and offer refuge to those who feel oppressed by others. They hold fundraisers and missions where the community as a whole can become connected and to provide initiatives for those truly wanting a reduction in social injustice. They also have different sections within their organization that are able to give them such a far reach within their community and work. They offer specialization in the legal system, offering information to families who are victims of police killings, education where students, teachers, and parents are involved and committed to making Black lives feel involved within the schools. They also provide information on arts and culture, as they believe that art can be used for, quote, social and political, end quote, transformation of how Black people are viewed within the art that expresses their freedom. Aware LA is a nonprofit organization that strives for anti-racism within the white community in Los Angeles. In this organization, white people come together to learn about the struggles that Black people go through, whether it is racism, social injustice, or different forms of discrimination. They come together as one to take, quote, responsibility for learning about racism, our own white privilege, and how to challenge it as white people, end quote. This serves as self-reflection and a place to unfold racism that has taken over these people and reflect upon their past to better their mindset and interactions with people of color. The overall mission for Aware LA is to help people learn and advocate for anti-racism, especially for white communities among people of color. It is a space to provide help for white people to seek anti-racism and support from others that support their views of providing equal rights and opportunities for Black people. Through this thought, they may feel alienated or an outcast due to their outlandish view, especially among other white people such as family and friends. The organization strives to help Los Angeles as they, quote, respond to crises in our communities, including the murder of our people by police, topple systems that keep us oppressed, vision and build new structures, and offer spaces of Black love, end quote. The following video shows how Aware LA has become a way for white people to come together to advocate for equal rights for Black people.
Folks like Malcolm X and Stokely Carmichael put out a call recognizing that white people were showing up in very problematic ways in the work to do racial justice, and that ultimately, as the beneficiaries of a system of racism, systems of white privilege, there's really an important aspect of drawing them into the work. But in order to do the work that needs to be done, they should be being organized by other whites who are in accountable relationships to communities of color, because folks of color shouldn't always have to be the ones to educate white people. We're not just white people doing what white people think is best to end racism. It's about our solidarity partnerships, and it's about how do we make sure that the work we do is accountable to those who are most impacted by police violence, by racism in our society.
The Los Angeles Promise Fund advocates to instill and teach students and young kids about racism and how to prevent injustice through anti-racism acts. The Los Angeles Promise Fund helps spread anti-racism through the deaths of people of color, where there was an instance of social injustice. This includes people such as Rayshard Brooks, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and people who have died due to the malicious intent of others. Through the education of these deaths, they educate people on how to treat each other with equality. The LA Promise Fund has committed to the spread of diversity among communities with equity and inclusion. They believe that the impact they can make about anti-racism among the youth community can significantly play a part in the outcome of social injustice and oppression among the diverse city of Los Angeles. It has the ability to, quote, chisel away at racism by teaching diverse histories and perspectives, end quote, which can help change different views that have, quote, excluded and actively erased the voices and contributions of people of color, end quote. In order to implement the anti-racism into the younger generations, they have instilled a, quote, unique hybrid operating program in partnership with Los Angeles Unified School District, end quote, which are involved within 2 high schools and a middle school, as well as 2 charter schools in South LA. This helps as it offers a support system to the students within the district that stretches to the entire county to help students deal with racism and ways to teach them how to view others with equality. The Asian American Advancing Justice has committed themselves to seek out equal treatment and to stop Asian hate. The main focus of Asian American Advancing Justice in Los Angeles is to advocate for the civil rights of Pacific Islanders and the Asian American community. The way the organization is set up is to assist, quote, AAPI individuals who are targets of discrimination based upon race, ethnicity, or national origin, end quote, through the help of community partners. To help offer change within the Asian community of racism and how to fight against discrimination, the AAPI holds training and events to help prevent hate crimes in public. They hold Zoom meetings to teach others on how to stop and interfere with Asian hate without the costs of, quote, compromising your safety, end quote. This effort is to help bystanders prevent verbal abuse from escalating to violent acts against Asians and to help keep communities safe. The following video clip shows how the API demonstrates anti-racism within Los Angeles.
Asian lives matter!
What is your organization doing on the ground level? I know there's big level conversations, but then there's also ground level.
We all need to do our part to say this is not allowed. And so that can be attending a bystander training, that can be reporting anything you witness and encouraging other people to report it and keep spreading it on social media, keep talking about it. Unfortunately, we have a history where different groups, including Asian Americans, have been targeted from time to time.
Yeah.
And the only way to really stop that, I think, is when not just Asian Americans care about it, but when our whole society cares about it.
The Chief Executive Office of the Los Angeles County has created the Anti-Racism, Diversity, and Inclusion Initiative, also known as the ARDI initiative, that strives for equality among Los Angeles residents. Implemented in July of 2020, the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors created the ARDI initiative in order to increase the commitment of battling racism across LA. The county has a far reach that works closely within different departments such as, quote, school districts, state and federal agencies, community-based organizations, and academic institutions, end quote. The initiative offers training to these different departments while also maintaining research and analysis to see what techniques and strategies are working in order to apply the best one for minimized racism. The Anti-Racism, Diversity, and Inclusion Initiative is focused on their definition of equity, which is the quote, the idea that differences matter and that systems must be balanced to distribute resources and opportunities needed to reach equal outcomes by treating everyone equally, end quote. They believe that through equity, they can restore harm in the settings where discrimination and illicit acts have taken place. To spread this initiative, they have implemented different promotions and ways to get involved, such as prevention assemblies in schools, an equity and diversity fund, and much more. Organizations that are nonprofit, such as Black Lives Matter, Aware Los Angeles, AAPI, ARDI, and the Los Angeles Promise Fund, provide the community with initiatives that they can partake in to make the city of Los Angeles equal between different cultures and races. These organizations make it easily accessible to take part in with a multitude of ways to get involved. Being able to do your research and volunteer can be one step closer to making a difference within the community as it lessens violence and increases the sense of safety and equality within every public setting.